Alright guys, better late than never. I'm finally doing my 10K Q&A. I hit 10K about like a week ago, and initially I waited a little longer because I wanted more submissions of questions, because surprisingly from 10,000 subs I only got about 11 submissions. So I gave it a little more time and I waited, and it was still the 11. So here we are 1 week later. I'm currently around 10K, 10,100 or something like that. So definitely still going up. Thank you for the support. So let's get started. I have my phone here with all the questions, and let me just get to those real quick. So here I have a comment from G Knight, and it says, "What made you want to start rollerblading? I love your channel." All right, so I started skating when I was really little, probably around 8 years old, and I didn't really have my own skates, but my brother had skates. My brothers actually, because they were skating during the skate boom, and I would always steal their skates and like rock these oversized skates and try them out, and then I would return them and their wheels would all be like all diagonally burnt because I didn't really know how to rotate wheels. So that's how I got started. Eventually, when I was a little older, I got my own pair of skates, and I probably skated till I was about 13, and then to be honest, it kind of died away, and several years, decade more went by. So me and my friends were going ice skating a lot, and I was really good at it, even though I've never really ice skated. So the conclusion was that I retained all my inline abilities from when I was little, and I was applying them to the ice. So I think I remember doing some research about ice skating and rollerblading being related, just briefly going into it, and I think I run into this like YouTube video of this like crazy Canadian guy who's ice skating on top of ice waves, and some of you might know who I'm talking about. And this crazy Canadian guy who's ice skating frozen waves is actually also a rollerblader. And I started watching his channel. If you know who he is, leave a comment below. I'm pretty sure you guys know who he is. And then I say, hey, you know what? I can still inline skate. That's the reason I can ice skate. So I go, and I remember buying my skates at there was a Blades on 72nd Street or the 70th Streets. I forgot, it no longer exists. They were having like a sale, I remember, because they were trying to clear out inventory. And I picked up some RB90s, and I remember I just put them on, and I hadn't skated for a long time, but I went from 72nd to like 42nd Street on skates. Like once I put them on, it just slowly came back, and it felt amazing. I have another question from Laura H. It's what do you carry in your backpack, and what should an urban skater carry in their backpack? So I don't carry much unless I'm filming. So if I'm filming, I obviously have a bunch of dead weight on me, which I really don't like. But when I am skating on my own, I tend to have just a Sonic Pro tool, and it has 2 hex keys on it and a Phillips screwdriver. So I carry that, and then currently, because I'm using the micro skates, they don't use the same Allen wrench or the hex key, whatever you want to call it, for the bottom, for the framing. It's like a larger one. I don't know the exact measurement, so I have to carry a spare tool for that. So yeah, so I carried Sonic tool and an additional hex key. What else? You guys probably saw my my shoe solution video a while ago. I don't really like carrying sneakers or shoes with me because it's dead weight. So I'll carry like minimalist shoes. I don't really plan to get off my skates when I'm out skating. I try to do round trips where I'm just on the skates the whole time, and I'll carry like the lightest shoes possible. So what I got is Skinner's, and they're minimalist shoes. They're essentially socks with like a special rubber coating on the bottom. They're emergency shoes. I don't really wear them. I only wear them like if I have to hop on a train or the bus where it's illegal to wear skates. But yeah, I try to travel light. So yeah, that's the second thing in my bag besides tools. And the last thing I have is just some water. Oh, and a snack. I usually carry like a protein bar or a Nutrient bar or something, because I tend to do these long skates, and you definitely need water and a snack, or your energy will just fall in the middle and you probably won't make it back. So that's what I carry in my backpack when I go out. From Taylor N. is favorite place you've bladed so far? Well, as far as the states, I have been traveling around recently. I definitely love New York. I do like urban skating, so it doesn't get more urban than New York. Let's Spencer D says, talk about skateboarding versus rollerblading. Wow. Like, do you mean literally skateboarding versus rollerblading, as in like, you know, has the adverse, like, you know, they didn't really like us kind of thing, or do you mean like comparing the two? Well, they're very different, obviously. As far as culturally, you know, skateboarding is like the norm, and the default thing to do, kind of more accepted. Rollerblading is obviously the more niche, the more underground per se, less done thing. As far as their coexistence with each other, everyone knows that skateboarders originally, it's getting better, but like in the 90s and 2000s, they really didn't like rollerbladers, and it was a lot of like derogative terms for rollerbladers because of it. There's, you know, skateboarding industry is huge, it's massive. There's clothing, you know, it's a whole culture tied to it. You know, there's a look as far as what you wear, there's a kind of music tied to it, you know, and the market's massive. Rollerblading is so tiny, it's kind of like ragtag. You know, bladers look completely different. There's no real like look or the culture like stapled onto it. I kind of like that though. You know, it's like subculture. You know, it's super hipster. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I've never tried skateboarding. Actually, I'm lying. I briefly tried it. You know, because everyone had to. It's kind of a thing that everyone was doing. I probably got as far as doing like an ollie, is that where you jump, right? And skating around, but it never really stuck. I just, something about blading really drew me to it, and you know, I don't think I compare. GS, you submitted an absurd amount of questions, so I'm gonna try to go through some of them. So let's go. His first question is, favorite hill to bomb. So best hill I've ever done was Bear Mountain. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. It's beautiful, it's steep, it's scenic, and it's extremely long run. And man, you hit like a constant 30 and it feels like forever. It might be like a 3-minute run in reality, or 5 minutes. It's just constant speed, and it's not even a straightaway. There's a nice gentle turns on it too. To the right, you should go watch the video. To the right is like cliffside. It's super scenic, it's great. I would love to do it again, and definitely will eventually. Next question, do you gap? Do you mean like jumping stuff? Not really. I've never really, like, I'll jump things, but I don't really jump off things. And I think it's related to the fact that I started out as a really heavy person. So I don't know if you guys saw this video, this channel, but initially I was a lot heavier. And most of my life I was like a larger person. And I was just like, because of that, I don't really like jumping things too much. I'm still kind of body clumsy. It's only recently that I became like, you know, skinnier and all that. So I like staying to the floor generally. Do you rather blading remain kind of underground thing or mainstream? So the cool thing about blading as an underground thing is that I find that whoever does it genuinely likes blading. So you don't get like a social cookie for blading. It's probably the opposite for a while. You know, if you bladed, there was like a negative thing to it. So people who are into blading tend to genuinely love it. You know, they're not in it for the aesthetic, you know, or for like I said, social points. They're just there because they really love blading. You're purely doing it because you enjoy it. And that's why I really want rollerblading to be like, it'd be great for it to be mainstream, because obviously the economic benefits, there would be more skate stores, more companies, more products. But I kind of don't like the whole, you know, jumping ship to be cool kind of thing, which I think is a huge part of skateboarders. But yeah, I think I like it more as an underground thing, or I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it becomes mainstream. Hopefully this channel gets more subs, you know, that'd be cool. But that's as much as I'm gonna speak as far as that. So since the pandemic, skating has been taking over. A lot of people are purchasing skates. They're purchasing the quads and skates, so it's not both. Yeah, but definitely I feel like as far as mainstream, it's definitely quads that's on the radar. Whether it's Moxie skates, quads, or rollerblades or inlines, stores are maxing sold out. Yeah. And how do you feel about that? So I feel like it's a combination of things. So it's like the perfect storm. So they're all linked. So I guess social distancing and people being stuck at home made them it forced them to do other things they normally didn't do. And I guess they got nostalgic of better times, you know, pre-COVID times. And they pulled out those old skates from the closet, or maybe they bought some. And that's definitely one of the factors that played in. Another thing is that like we're at that age where, well, not we, you know, but the original like skate prime, the people who were around for like that big boom, are around the age where they're having kids now, you know, and they're probably like established adults, and they're pushing it onto their kids like, hey, you know, I used to skate, you want to learn how to skate? So that plus the pandemic. But most of our skates, unless you're Adapt or something, or Rossi's, I think Rossi's are assembled in China. Oh no, they're whatever. Most skates are made in China. So what happened was there was this spike in like interest, and then there was a shortage in skates themselves. And I feel like those things play into each other, because then it's like, oh man, skates are sold out because they're so popular. But I feel like in reality, it was also, you know, the supply chain is broken. So it was more like, oh, skates are sold out. So then it hyped it up, you know, because there was a good amount of people going into skates, and they're like, oh, the skates must be sold out because there's so many people going in. But in reality, it's because there was a smaller supply than usual, and they kind of just played into each other. And now it's pretty terrible. You can't really buy skates, even wheels. I've been ordering from companies and they're extremely behind. So like, I'm not gonna mention names, but one company took 1 month to send me one of the products I ordered. Another company, I paid for express processing, not even shipping. And it's been over a week and I don't even have a tracking number yet. So it's pretty crazy right now. HannyPay is your name? Sorry if I messed it up. So, dream place to skate in. Like I said, I really want to check out Barcelona. I hear like it's really popping over there. A lot of the pro skaters just live down there, and it looks like it has a healthy skate scene. Really cool people. Definitely want to go there eventually. But like I said, so far, I love New York. I can't, you know, just like, so it's my dream place already. But like secondary would be something like Barcelona. Your favorite pair of skates? I don't know about like, it's kind of hard to say. So currently I don't really hop around. I don't have more than one pair generally. So I have one pair of skate for a specific thing. So I never have more than one aggressive skate or more than one speed. If I do, I tend to get one of them and give them away or sell them or whatever. I don't like having a lot of stuff flying around. Aeons are pretty good. I like Aeons. I have tried other aggressive skates in the beginning, so maybe it was an unfair comparison. But ever since I found Aeons, I've stuck to them. I really do love them. They're great skates, and I'm probably gonna buy another pair. As far as like, I guess the company I've used the most, like I guess favorite, quote unquote, maybe, would be like Rollerblade, but that's because they're like the local brand, you know, they're US based, they're what's mostly available. They probably make up like 70% of like skates I owned were like Rollerblade. So I guess they would be my favorite, I don't know. But I don't have a particularly favorite skate besides the Aeons. Any future collab plans? Okay, so you guys already know that if you watch the older videos, I've already collaborated with a few YouTubers. I love doing that. A big part of this channel is meeting people. I love finding communities and meeting interesting skaters. That's why I have like series like Blading With, which features like really cool skaters. So I've worked with the following people. I've worked with Thiago, who's really cool. Had a blast, skated with him several times. He came down to New York City during the Big Apple Roll. So you guys can check that out. I have 2 videos with him. The next person I got to work with, actually, I have made like kind of like a collab video with Bill Stoppard. He came to New York and I skated with him and I filmed him, but it wasn't like us skating together. Kind of like he just happened to be there. So yeah, I've worked with Bill in a sense. I worked with Thiago. The next person I worked with was Skate Fresh Asha. So she came to New York. She does these tours. You guys can check them out, where she travels with a group to different cities and she shows them around the city. And there's also like a whole tourism, but there's also a lesson aspect to it. I was reached out to because, you know, I'm a New York City local and I know the scene pretty well in all the areas. And I actually helped her run the tour. She's a great person. I had fun and I got to film with her. So yeah, I worked with Asha. And the next person I worked with was Ricardo Lino. I know I'm digressing, it's not really the question, but I'm getting there. So I worked with Carlino, really cool dude. He's extremely tall. Like, he's like, what the hell? When you see him, he's really tall, cool guy. I got to skate with him like 2-3 days or something. And so what are my future collabs? Finally, the actual question, I got to it. I've been speaking to City Blades because he's actually from Kansas. So if you guys haven't seen City Blades before, he has a YouTube channel. He has a very particular style that represents ice skating. So he explores really cool rockers and he does like interesting ice skating moves, but in the form of inline. And he's from a town that's not too far from here. So I've been trying to meet up with him. And if you're watching this, my bad, I've just been busy, but I'm gonna have an episode soon. The other person I've been speaking to, and I'm trying to work something out also, is I'm gonna make a collab video with Acosta Blades. If you guys haven't seen his channel, it has really good, probably the best aggressive skating tutorials. So it's primarily an aggressive skating channel, but if you're looking to get into that, some of the best tutorials, period. But yeah, he's not that far from me. He's down in Colorado, so I'm trying to link up with him. So that'll be the next collab I'm doing. And as far as collabs, that's all I have in the near future. Okay, Vinay K, sorry if I messed up your name. You left 3 questions. It goes, what led you to / inspire you to create a blading YouTube channel? I go to Wednesday night skates, you know, when I was in New York, I would go. And one of my friends, he's like, hey, you wanna buy a gimbal? And it was a cell phone gimbal. So originally my YouTube videos were cell phone gimbal videos. And I loved the experience of Wednesday night skate and I wanted to film it. So there was this one period where I filmed every Wednesday night skate and then I would produce a video for them and I would share it. So if you go to their page, I don't know if their original page, every week I shared Wednesday night skate, what it was like a recap. In the beginning I used that GoPro program that kind of just chops it up for you. It was really simple. People liked the videos. And you know, I thought, hey, why not start a blading YouTube channel? You know, I'm already doing it anyways. I got support from the local people, so I just started Blading New York with my friends, and then I started like a little crew, and that's how we are here today. Do you aspire to go pro in any form? As far as like pro, I don't know, like what is the definition of pro? As far as like doing crazy tricks and competing, probably not, though I do plan to at least try to compete in some way or another. I have competed as form of a marathon, I guess. I have taught, so I've taught in schools, and I've taught privately. I'm a certified skate instructor. I've been interviewed for TV as far as inline skating, so I guess I'm almost there in a sense, you know, not like in the competing sense, but more, I guess, pro in as far as being, you know, getting information from and being paid for all skate related stuff. So maybe, but probably not. For a newbie, what grind should they learn after learning a Makio or a Mizu? Well, it looks like you're already working on a lot of soul-based tricks. So if you feel comfortable there, so maybe a porn, because you know your legs are already back there. It's kind of just flipping it in, but definitely stick to soul tricks because it seems like it's something you're getting. So stick with like a linear thing. So if you can do a Makio, it's essentially one leg soul, and then the variations are just placing your remaining leg somewhere else. So, you know, like a Mizu, a porn, a soul, or an acid. I don't know if you're following, but yeah, just stick along the same soul family. Thomas L. What's the best way to practice skating backwards? All right, so skating backwards is extremely neglected for whatever the reason. I don't know why, but it's not like skating forward. So don't think like, oh, you just switch it. A lot of the techniques are not the same. You know, the push isn't the same. A lot of times they'll teach you to do this, like, you know, in like an A stance and kind of like waddle backwards. But in reality, that gets you going backwards, but never really translates to properly skating backwards. So you obviously want a good environment, like controlled environment. You don't want to, you know, like a basketball court or something. And you want to start with like lemons, going forwards and backwards on them. Because a lot of skating backwards is more like a crossover or in half lemons. So I think what would be best is actually, you know, learning to look over your shoulder and doing reverse lemons, and then eventually you start like mixing it up. Yeah, there's a lot of skating backwards videos that are pretty good. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I'll try to link it below. Because it's very different. When you skate forward, your body's not contorted. You're kind of just facing forward. But most of the time when you're skating backwards, you're twisted. So it's very different, and it may take a while to learn. So we have Taylor M. Your channel single-handedly influenced me to buy a pair of skates and get skating again. What inspires you? I'm really happy every time I go to like a session or a meetup and someone's like, oh man, I started skating because of you. Like, that is a really great feeling. What inspires me to skate? I don't know. I just really enjoy it. It's a great physical activity, you know, exercise. It's a good way to just escape. You know, when I skate, I'm like in the zone, and you know, I don't check my phone. It's one of those things where I'm like out, I'll be out for like 2 hours, and never will I check my phone throughout the whole thing. I don't know, I guess I just love it a lot, and that's what inspires me to do it. Inline Skater Dad says, will you be moving back to New York anytime soon? I definitely wouldn't. Man, I love New York, and I would definitely move back. It's just kind of crazy over there now, you know, and I don't want to start like the whole conspiracy theory people in the comments, but there's supposed to be a second wave around December, and schools closed, and there was a yes or no. They're still kind of debating what's happening. And I used to work in schools teaching skating, and you know, my job was pretty much done at that point. So that's why I kind of left and I stayed with family just to play it safe. I can see myself returning to New York. So I'm gonna leave that question in pause, because it's gonna run to another question right here. Jay Alvarez says, would you ever want to blade across America? So actually, I've always, for a while, I've told myself I wanted to skate across America. And for a while, I told myself I had to do it soon. And I'm in a pretty particular situation now, as in a sense that I'm already halfway across it from New York. So this is the idea. Hopefully it happens. So along with you know, New York finally stabilizing and all that, the plan is that if I can get enough support from the viewers, more subs, I don't have an exact quota, but somewhere around like 40,000 subs by next spring, and obviously more patrons because it's gonna be a big task. I would really like to skate from Kansas all the way back to New York. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But like I said previously, I've always wanted to skate across the country, and I'm already, you know, almost on the other side, so I might as well try it. And I don't want to do like a speed thing. I feel like a lot of people have done that. I kind of want to take my time, and I want to meet people throughout it. So I want to skate and run into other bladers and other blading communities. I don't know, one of the best feelings, I probably said it in previous video, was when I first started going Wednesday night skate and discovering the whole scene. Like, one of the best moments, I guess, in skating, as far as like how much I enjoyed it. So I'd love to skate from Kansas, or maybe like California. I guess it really depends on how much support I can get. You know, none of this will really happen unless, you know, I can have in reality, the financial backing for it, which means subs and patrons and stuff like that. I'd love to skate from like Cali to like New York, and just along the way, you know, plan out stops to meet different scenes or different people. And I want to document the whole thing, which would probably be challenging because it'll probably be like a 2-month trip, but I want to post videos regularly, so I'll probably go all phone format like the channel was originally when I first started. So yeah, if I can hit around 40,000 subs and get more patrons before next spring, I want to skate from Kansas to New York. And that answers 2 questions as far as would you ever go back to New York, and do you want to skate across America? All right, that's all the questions I had. I really wish I would have got more, to be honest. Come on, I got 10,000 subs and I only got like 11 questions, really, guys? Come on. If you enjoyed the channel, don't forget to leave a like, a comment. If you can, pick up some Binny merch, and check out our Patreon. And for $1.50, it's like buying me a Coke. Would you buy me a Coke? I would buy you a Coke. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.